I can't even think of any athletes who wore number 79.
Some offensive lineman and the like Bruce Matthews or something, probably.
Yeah, 79 is such an obscure number.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have any cold open for this one other than we'll talk about the No Way Home trailer. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the One Take Podcast, episode 79. We are reviewing Magic Mike. It's fine. It's cool. Just 3 straight dudes reviewing Magic Mike. We're good.
It's all chilling in a hot tub 6 feet apart
because they're not gay. We'll talk about why we wanted to review this movie in a second. But first, we don't do news on this podcast. But the biggest thing in Marvel history apparently happened this week when the No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home trailer dropped. And apparently people lost their shit because it is now the #1 streamed trailer of all time.
Wow.
Crazy. And it's smoked in game. Like, it's not even close.
Wow.
Yeah. Like an extra 100 something million viewers over the in-game trailer day one.
So yeah, I mean, we're not going to go into depth about it. I don't think, unless y'all want to, but just the gang's all here. That's all you have to know about that trailer.
Give me every fucking thing. Nobody even likes the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies, but like if Andrew Garfield's in this movie, I need that. I need every single bit of it.
I'll take that.
I like Spider-Man 3, but if you're gonna put fucking Sandman and whatever in this movie, I need that too. I need all that shit.
Give me the slop. That was basically what this movie was. Is like, feed me. It was all those little piggies. Were like, give me the fucking slop. And they did, and I think they will, but it just, a lot of questions need to be answered. But you know what's funny is that Shang-Chi still has to come out. The Eternals still have to come out. And then this movie has to come out. All the other people have to be like, what the like all the other movies have to be like, God damn it.
Not to mention the shows. It's just we have so much Marvel content to get through before we get to this movie. So there's no telling the stuff that they couldn't put in that trailer just because it's going to touch on things that are revealed in these later movies or these later TV series. I just can't wait, man. I'm so excited.
The trailer's like 3 minutes long, and it feels like we know so much about the movie, but we still don't know shit at all either.
Kevin Feige had the goons at some people's houses because that trailer, the way that the trailer, if you don't know, the trailer leaked through like a recording of a recording of a recording, like an incomplete, unrendered trailer leaked, and then that shit was off the internet really quickly.
Once people said the quality was bad, I didn't even go looking for it. I was like, fuck that. I'll just wait. I'll just wait
and watch it with everybody else.
I'll just watch it with everybody else.
I'm not going to lie. It was pretty much the same trailer. I'm terrible about that. I will spoil stuff for myself all the time. Like before I finish a movie, I'll read the Wikipedia.
Oh, no.
I'm terrible about that, man.
No.
I do that for movies I don't plan on seeing, and then I might watch them later. Like I'd already known what happened with Midsummer or whatever, because I wasn't gonna watch that shit until we had to do it for the podcast.
Greatest movie of all time.
Shout out to Teja's first appearance on the podcast. Go listen to it. Great episode.
But maybe our best episode.
Fucking love that movie.
Classic. But yeah, I'll read Wikipedia articles or shit like that. But an MCU movie, hell no.
Nah, I mean it'll be like stuff like The Lighthouse and be like, all right, where are we going like this when I'm sitting on my couch at 2 a.m. You know, like
read the summary of that is like nothing happens. You're wasting your time. That's the summary of The Lighthouse.
A movie that fucking sucks.
A movie that is garbage. Sorry for people that like that movie. That movie
don't let film Twitter nerds tell you otherwise.
Do not let them lie to you about the quality of that film or The Green Knight. By the way, fuck the Green Knight.
The Green Knight is also ass. I was like, am I crazy? Am I stupid? Am I like? What is happening?
Yes, you're the dumb one in this movie, by the way.
Why does everyone like this movie?
It's a really good looking movie, but holy shit. You get to the end, you're like, oh, why did we do that? Why did we do any of this? Why did we do this at all?
In case you're wondering what kind of movies like that resonate with us. All of us were like, or at least Dex and I were like, Free Guy's actually not bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't seen it yet.
Free Guy, not bad. Green Knight,
Stinks.
I wouldn't recommend The Green Knight to anyone unless you are like trying to make a movie and you want to know how to make something look good. Because The Green Knight looks amazing, but it is fucking trash.
It looks amazing, but like a bunch of random shit happens, and then none of it means anything at all.
None of it ends up meaning anything. I was so furious. Anyway, we're not talking about The Green Knight.
Speaking about a movie, speaking about things that look good, Channing Tatum.
Yes.
In a movie that nothing matters, Magic Mike. Let's talk about it. Magic Mike. We're doing this movie. First of all, if you haven't seen Magic Mike, I don't know. Like, this is my first time actually seeing it because of Gay Panic back in 2012 when I was coming out of high school. So like,
because of Gay Panic.
Yeah. So it's just like there's so much. I'm joking about that, but there is so much gay panic surrounding this movie, and the dudes in Tej's mentions when you quote tweeted something. Explain how that happened, because I think you quote tweeted something and said that Magic Mike is a good movie. And the dudes in your mentions were like, "Oh, what? Oh!"
Some woman said, "Like, I need to watch Magic Mike again." I was like, "This is a good movie," and people are like, "Wait, what?" And of course, you can imagine the responses. But it's like the fucking person who directed Ocean's 11 made this movie. Like, why am I not going to watch this movie? I don't understand. I never understood that.
What a random fact.
It doesn't. I'm going to watch this movie. I love Soderbergh, and I didn't like No Sudden Move very much, but I like Soderbergh, and I really like this movie.
Yeah, if you can't handle seeing Matthew McConaughey's ass cheeks without like thinking that makes you gay, then that's on you, buddy. I'm sorry.
I mean, we'll all watch Matthew McConaughey shake his ass for the public. Like we'll get in there. By the way, we don't mean to offend anybody with this podcast. just to get that out there.
Let's get the disclaimer out of the way. Live your life how you want to live. We don't care about your preferences. Love who you want to love. None of us are gay, but this film, we did watch this film that had a lot of naked dudes and gyration, and we're still not gay. We watched it. We turned it off. We're still not gay.
We went from like a dozen streamers on Twitch to like one. I'm not kidding.
I see what kind of episode this is.
Like, I'm out.
I'm out on this.
all the baseball followers on Apollo HOU Twitch are like, what the fuck? Magic Mike came out in 2012. It's rated R because duh. It is hour 50 minutes long, 6.1 rating on IMDb, 72 Metascore. A male stripper teaches a younger performer how to party, pick up women, and make easy money. Directed by Ocean's 11 Academy Award nominee Steven Soderbergh. Okay, yeah, just
something I didn't realize until we were deciding to watch this movie. I had no idea.
Crazy.
Also, this movie is about Channing Tatum's life. Well,
yeah, roughly,
kinda, because he was a kid when he was a stripper, and now in the movie, obviously, he's in his 30s or he's 30. But he was a male stripper when he was a teenager.
Yeah, it was written by Reed Carolyn. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that. He wrote this. Let's see. I think he's a Soderbergh collaborator, but he wrote this Magic Mike XXL, which is, I think, objectively worse. But he's also been a producer on like 22 Jump Street, White House Down. So he's just he's a what do you call it? Channing Tatum collaborator. And Logan Lucky. So looks like this dude wrote this about Channing Tatum's life. But it stars Channing Tatum. It's like Channing Tatum was like, "Hey, you want to write a story about my life? Because I can't do this." I'm like, sure, whatever. It stars Channing Tatum, Alex Pettyfer, Olivia Munn. Just throwing fastballs. Olivia Munn in this movie. Matthew McConaughey, Cody Horn,
Kevin Nash.
Yeah,
great.
Let's see. Joe Manganiello, Matt Bomber, and Adam Rodriguez. Those are all the strippers. Kevin Nash just phoning it in on the on the dances. We'll talk about that. Hey, my guy, Kevin Nash, just big as shit, just phoning it in. Movies related to this: Step Up and Step Up 2. This
Definitely use those skills from Step Up and Step Up 2 to
I just like to think this is an extension of that character.
honestly, yeah, this is where he ends up.
This movie was a hit. This is a Soderbergh classic. He does this better than anybody else in Hollywood. $7 million budget. Anyone want to guess what a rated R stripper movie made?
60 million.
No, it made 167 million worldwide.
Jesus.
This was Women's Night Out extreme.
He makes the cheapest movies. He made this for $7 million, and the women went to the movies and had a great time.
Yep. It has a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes, 60% audience score. And I got to assume the 60% audience score is dudes being like, I didn't like this because
it showed a dick.
Yeah, there's a Joe Manganiello's cock in this movie. Jesus Christ. Magic Mike's sensitive direction, smart screenplay. I disagree with that. And strong performances allow audiences to have their beefcake and eat it too. We'll start.
Love that tag. That's amazing writing right there. Shout out to whoever wrote that.
We will start with Tej because we are reviewing this movie because of you. Go ahead, man.
This is my second or third time seeing this movie. I saw it in theaters. It wasn't full of a bunch of screaming women. It was like me and a couple other people because I saw it like late in the theatrical run. But I just really like this movie.
Saw it at midday at like a dining theater. Alamo Draft House, like enjoying some ribs or something.
This movie obviously has its flaws. Some of the dialogue is pretty cringe. When he's not on stage, Channing Tatum is kind of hit or miss, but he's super charming. I actually, whenever I watch this movie or I watch 21 Jump Street, which we talked about on this podcast, I always wonder why Channing Tatum wasn't a bigger star. I just think he's so charming and like and kind of more versatile than you would think. Obviously, he used to be a stripper, so the dancing kind of came natural to him, but I don't think this is as easy as a performance as it might look just because he used to be a stripper. I really do think there's something, there's like an emotional weight to this movie that it doesn't really come up, like I said, in the dialogue, but more of you're watching this kind of guy. We've seen movies about sex workers with a heart of gold before, which is basically what this film is about. It's a sex worker with a heart of gold who is working hard to capture the American dream and doing all the right things, and he's creative because he can make this furniture. And I just always really enjoy watching this movie. I really enjoy seeing Olivia Munn just be like a complete creep when she's hitting on the girl on the beach and she keeps touching her tattoo. Like, I just love that. It's so weird to see Olivia Munn playing a character like that. Like, you see her boobs, she's just being a complete creep. She's treating this young, good-looking dude like shit.
Yeah, like she's a psychologist
yes.
who is like into swinging and is engaged. It's a crazy character.
She's the creepiest person in this film. When she meets the sister on the beach, she just literally touched her like 7 times in 2 minutes. There's so many scenes in this movie which I absolutely love. I really enjoy going back to watch it. I would give it a strong B. It kind of holds up. There are a lot of dudes dancing. Also, Matthew McConaughey's performance, like many of his performances, is just phenomenal. That dude can do anything. He's so good. He's just amazing. Even when he's on stage, when he finally goes back on stage and does his dance and he comes off the stage after he plays the Kiss song, he's just like, yeah, back on the stage. Like, he's just perfect. Like, Matthew McConaughey is just incredible. The sleazier the character, the better his performance will be. This dude is super sleazy, and Matthew McConaughey just bodies the performance. I enjoy this film. I'm gonna give it a solid B.
Sleaze bag, dude. That dude is greasy as shit. I like watching this movie though. You're like, this was the motherfucker that Matthew McConaughey was supposed to be playing this entire time.
Yes.
For sure.
He's supposed to be playing characters just like this.
Like not the romantic all intents and purposes. He's just like a cool dude who like smokes like smoking weed and not taking baths and playing the bongos. Exactly. Yeah. He
going to Texas football games.
Yeah, he's kind of jumped the shark with like his persona at this point, is the all right thing. But like this was like first of all, we were talking about in the text messages that this was like the start of an all-time career Hollywood heater. Like throw it up there with Harrison Ford, throw it up there with any of these dudes that have just this like 10-year run, but shorten that down to about 3 years. McConaughey had about a 3 to 5 year just boom, 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 boom. And he was picking them up and putting them down. And anyway, but yeah, this is the character that McConaughey was like born to play because he still got that cool guy charm, but under there somewhere is like, ooh.
You are the biggest asshole in the world. In a movie full of assholes, you're the biggest asshole.
There's a bunch of douchebags on screen. You are just the biggest. Yeah, but
literally everyone in this movie sucks except the sister. The sister's the only like normal person in this movie. Because like
she kind of sucks too.
She
you like Channing Tatum, but then you remember, oh yeah, Channing Tatum like tricked a 19-year-old into sex work. Like, so, like Channing Tatum also kind of sucks. Oh yeah, the sister is like, I mean, she's the least bad. But yeah, Matthew McConaughey was born to play this role. Like,
go ahead, Dex, keep it going.
Every time they dropped the all right, I was like, yes, this is what I'm here for. Thank you. Because I said it like 4 times in this movie.
Yeah, it's in there a lot.
But yeah, I love watching McConaughey's character. I love watching Channing Tatum's character. I liked watching like the kid become just a douchebag and asshole and the worst friend of all time. Because that man truly a despicable friend by the end of this movie. But there were funny parts. I mean, the dancing it's cool. It's whatever. Like, I'm not gonna get that excited about any of it. The song choices were pretty good though. I do like there are a lot of white women who saw this movie and like heard Pony for the first time. So now Pony is the Magic Mike song to them, and that just upsets me.
That's really upsetting.
But really upsetting. Beyond that, good song choices. Good shit to watch, Matthew McConaughey and Channing Tatum shake their asses to. Channing Tatum should be a much bigger star. I just watched Free Guy and Channing Tatum shows up in that. I was like, Channing Tatum's fucking hilarious. Why is Channing Tatum not in everything? I like Channing Tatum.
Because he's not a good actor.
He's not good, but you don't have to be good.
Well,
you can be funny and hot, and that's enough. You don't have to also be good.
Or at least we thought. Maybe Hollywood disagrees with us, but
apparently. But like he gave us Logan Lucky, which is amazing. I mean, the Step Up movies, they are what they are. Those movies aren't supposed to be good. He's good enough in them. He gave us this. He gave us
21 Jump Street.
21 Jump Street. He's hilarious in this Free Guy cameo. Get Channing Tatum more work. But yeah, anyway, for the movie itself, the dialogue sucks. And it feels like they improvised all of it like on the spot. They were just shooting the shit on set and just trying to see where it went. Every single conversation that everybody has is awkward and stilted and cringeworthy. But other than that, it's a good time. I give it probably a B-.
Knowing what we know about Soderbergh, it is highly likely that if he just doesn't have a solid ass script, he'll just be like, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because
do what feels right.
Because he made one called Let Them Talk recently with Meryl Streep and stuff. And there just I don't think there was a script for it. They said the writer was Deborah Eisenberg, but there just didn't feel like there was actually a script for that movie as well. And it feels the same here. And knowing what we know that this dude that wrote the script is Channing Tatum's collaborator or whatever. It looks like Steven Soderbergh was like, "Nah, we're not gonna. We're just gonna take this outline."
You just give me an outline. We're not letting you write the words.
Yeah, being a script writer who hitches your wagon to Channing Tatum as an actor is just a wild choice.
It's a hilarious choice.
Because then you got to convey all these characters through Channing Tatum, which okay, I'm in what I said because when you watch Logan Lucky. He's not a bad actor, and he's decent at playing these dudes that are kind of confused and a little lost sometimes. You know what I mean? Like a little misunderstood because he's hot, which is a weird thing to be sentimental about, I guess. But yeah, when people treat you like the hot dumb idiot, and he can pivot off of that, it's very good. And I think his comedic timing, as seen in this, a lot of this stuff bleeds over into his 21 Jump Street character as well. The happy birthday, Mr. President sort of thing when he shows up in the Marilyn Monroe thing. Yep. And he's gets up there and he's humping Alex Pettyfer and stuff like that. It's all 21 Jump Street shit. And I think his comedic timing is really good. And I think you do kind of feel sorry just because we know what a lot of generalization a lot of these people go through, and then like trying to get out of this business and stuff like that, or the porn industry or anything like that. It just will beat the fuck out of you and beat you down, and then you don't have a really good foot because you're getting paid in like cash and all this stuff, and it's just it can suck you in. And him trying to get out of that is kind of a like you said, Teach, is a story that tells as old as time, but it just still works. And I think that what's good about this movie, what Soderbergh does really well, is that because of this profession and because of what we know about drugs and all the stuff that people in sex work kind of get into, is that, or can get into, I'm being very generalizing here, is that there's just this seedy sort of tension on the surface of this entire movie, especially following Alex Pettyfer's character, because he's so young too, sure, that it's just kind of gross the entire time. And Soderbergh's really good at catching that tension, and just especially when he meets the Riley Keough character, and they're doing Molly or ecstasy or whatever, and he's in Matt Bomer's character out of nowhere just being a complete sleazebag too, like touch my wife's boobs and stuff like that. It's just that whole thing. There's just a weird edge of your seat, even though nothing's really going to happen, but there's just this weird edge of your seat. Like, ooh, what the fuck is going to happen here? And, and it ends with a 19-year-old making a bunch of bad choices, which Alex Pettyfer is not good in this movie. He's really hot, but he's not a good actor. And this was back when they were trying to make Alex Pettyfer be the thing for a minute. It didn't happen. Didn't happen at all.
It was never going to happen. I don't know why they tried.
Because he's good looking, man. He is very good looking. But yeah, I think the physicality of the movie, talking about the dancing, like we're impressed with it. That's fucking hard, man. That's tough.
Especially and like for McConaughey, like
like 40-year-old dudes.
It's insane. This dude's like 40. He's crushing it. When he's teaching Alex Pettyfer's character, when he's in the gym teaching him, that scene is so incredible.
And like fuck the mirror, like fuck the mirror.
McConaughey exudes a confidence that's just like, it's insane to see on screen. It's insane to see. This is the oldest dude in the film, or I guess second oldest, because Kevin Nash is pretty fucking old. Yeah. Maybe he's the second oldest dude in the film.
And that's why Kevin Nash didn't try at all.
And he's so confident in his body and his movements. He's just like extremely confident. I just love. I can't say enough about McConaughey, man.
There's a Graham Norton interview where they talk about where he had to like wear the thong or whatever around, and so he like would purposely wear it around just on set, just so he could get comfortable in it. Yeah, so because like that's what it's supposed to be comfortable in, like that's his body. So he would just try to like go up to people, and his anecdote was so what'd you do this weekend? Did you mow the lawn? How's the game? Like that sort of conversation.
With the G-string on.
Yeah, with a G-string on. Just talking to people like trying to eat a sandwich. And it was, like I said, it's the start of McConaughey just getting this kind of weird confidence back in himself off of doing these, just like he's never lacked for confidence in any of his movies, but they just haven't been good, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's taken swings and misses before, but sort of this understated where he's not the movie star sort of thing. Mm-hmm. It really, really worked for him, and it worked for him in Mud too. And then he kind of starts to get like the movie star sort of arc, and he wins an Oscar. But it is this sort of, he's not on camera the entire time, but when he is, Soderbergh's like, you gotta go, and he's doing it. And basically it is McConaughey with just the dark side, because McConaughey, like you said, Dex, in this, he says, all right, like 18 times. Yeah. He's on stage literally playing the bongos, which he was arrested for in Austin back in the day, which is a hilarious picture if you can go find it. He was arrested naked playing the bongos in his house.
He wrote that weird, like, Welcome to Tampa song that he sings at the end.
I wouldn't be surprised if he actually wrote that.
He did.
Oh, he did?
Wrote that?
Yeah, he wrote that.
Of course he did. Of course he did. Of course he did.
I didn't know that.
I think all the other guys like Buddy, like sort of charm. I think It's kind of an underuse of Joe Manganiello, even though like you get a lot of Joe Manganiello in this, but like
maybe too much Joe Manganiello.
maybe too much Joe Manganiello.
A little too much.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. When he was pumping up his dick in that thing, I was like, Jesus Christ. Stunned by that. I was like, it was like 15 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't know it was on Twitch, because we're talking about a dude's dick. That's why Twitch turned off.
Yeah, but you know,
while we're here though, I gotta say, I was like, this isn't quite as racy as I thought it was gonna be. Cause like you watch a movie like Zola and it's like there's a 3-minute scene where it's just dicks. Like, just constantly just showing you dicks. And I was like, is that what Magic Mike is? Or just gonna be like just dick flying everywhere? No,
not really.
It's really just Joe Manganiello's dick, and then you see a lot of asses, and you see Olivia Munn's boobs and some other boobs.
A lot of drug use, a lot of swearing and everything, but there was a lot of the time where I'm like, oh, well, they're talking like everyday life. Is because they didn't write a script. And the problem is that came back to backfire, because the ending of this movie, when he's like, after he gets, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the 2012 movie, it's only like 10 years old. Good Lord. When he gets jumped and he pays off the guy and he goes back to like argue with the sister with, I forget what Cody Horn in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke. Thank you. Brooke. And it's basically like he stumbles over. Do you think that there's a bit in there where he's like, that I'm magic, that we're magic? It was bad. It was very, very bad.
That was the best take they got of that shot. And every time I see that film, I'm just like, spit it out, bro. Like, I understand you're like really emotional, so maybe he can't deliver the lines perfectly, but it's still bad. It's still like very bad. Like, you have to do better than that in that scene. He just does not crush it. And that was the best shot that they got, apparently.
Yeah.
This is bad.
And, they had these conversations, like they're, real people that are kind of just driving around Tampa. We were saying before the podcast started, this being in Tampa just makes so much sense. This just makes just the most sense. How much drugs and stuff are in, just the most. And it just, like, you would find McConaughey in Tampa right now. And if you just
what I just thought about this movie being in Tampa? Can you imagine Super Bowl week with these dudes?
Killing it. They cleaned up.
God. They probably died.
Super Bowl weekend. They probably died.
Oh man, it just, all that to say, I think the script really takes away from it, but I think Soderbergh's direction is very Soderberghy. But I think his choices with the camera and
oh my God, the
commitment from everyone in it, including McConaughey and
but not Nash
and Tatum, not Nash.
Everybody except for Nash.
Kevin Nash owed a guy a favor. That's why he's in this movie.
He's in the second one too.
He's in the sequel too. Yep.
Yeah, and
wait, have y'all seen the sequel?
No.
Yes, I have. It's not bad, but it's very
watching?
Different. It is, but it's a very different movie. Soderbergh didn't direct it, and you can see that very clearly in the way that the film like looks and kind of the pacing of it. But it's also has the same, like, the dialogue is still really bad, and the plot is even worse because it's like, what? This dude just retired from stripping. How did he get back here?
Why is he back? Yeah, that's why it never made sense.
That part.
The only reason they made it is because they made $167 million, and you're just like, all right, let's do it again.
It did not make sense, like, via the story to make another one of this movie, because the whole point was like he finds himself and he gets out. That's the ending of the film. Like, he's with this woman now. Who knows where that's going to go? And then in the sequel, they break them up. And then he's just like stripping again. And it's like the furniture business that he's working towards basically is going to shit. So like he goes back into stripping basically. It's really faulty premise. But it's not bad. It's still enjoyable, but it's not as good as the first one.
Donald Glover's in it, apparently.
Yeah, Donald Glover's in it.
Oh yeah, Gabriel Iglesias being in this as like a drug dealer DJ is like, all right, interesting. But
one of the dumbest plot lines ever. Like, why
we'll talk about it.
That happen?
We'll talk about it.
I give this. Tell Channing Tatum that it was only worth $1,000 if it was worth it. I've never understood that. Like,
we'll talk about that character too here in a second. I give this movie a C+ just for the commitment the physicality, and Soderbergh on the back of all that. But if this was directed by a less capable director, which why he did it, he'll do anything, I guess, because he just likes making movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's the opposite of David Fincher, is what I heard on the rewatchables. Is basically like David Fincher's like once every 3 years, where this guy's like, I'm gonna make 13 films this year, all on my iPhone.
Fincher's gonna shoot every scene 97 times, so he cannot work with somebody like Channing Tatum, who's gonna give him 97 bad takes, and then Fincher's gonna try to murder him.
Yeah. So yeah, Soderbergh's like, I'm just gonna shoot this on like a BlackBerry. Yeah. we're gonna figure it out. But cut it in iMovie. Yeah, so I give this a C+ based on the back of all that alone. Now let's talk about the worst parts of the movie, because that's what we do. Alex Pettyfer's character, the entire story arc of Alex Pettyfer's character. We were talking about in the group messages that I said a lot of this I can attribute to 19 years old, fresh, getting kicked out of college, doing drugs, hard drugs for the first time, making a little bit of money from Tampa. That all kind of makes a lot of sense. The from Tampa just kind of really puts a bow on that. But the don't sue us. We do have a lot of like Florida listeners, are like our biggest margin. But they're from Miami, whatever. But the his whole thing is I attribute it to, oh, he's 19, he's doing all this stuff, he's in over his head. And when you're 19, go back, you made dumbass decisions. But he is a dickhead. This dude is
he's not
asshole.
making bad decisions. He's a horrible person.
He's a horrible person who is making dumbass decisions. And like, bro, you had so many other options like throughout your entire life. Like you could have done so much more.
Could have tried to go to a different school for football. It's like he got kicked out for the first time, and then they were like, he didn't even try to go back.
No. I mean, transfer portal wasn't what it was in 2012, but could have done something.
But I had to sit out a year.
Yeah, you could have done something. You could have went to the outlet mall, filled out some job applications. Like you could have done so much. Working for construction for $10 an hour. No, I'm good. I don't need to do that.
The worst part of this film is the scene where everything starts to go bad, where they have to fight their way out of this sorority house. Because I love the way the film is shot, because the first thing you see when you come into the house is a room full of dudes, and you're like,
just aggro dudes. It was a great shot.
Weird. That is a weird thing to have in this sorority house when you know there's going to be male strippers there. But fine, we'll just put that in the back of our brains. We'll just push forward. Then he gives a random girl a pill, which is not the smartest thing to do, but also it's not like he shoved it down her throat. This woman willingly took this pill, and then the boyfriend's mad, and the fight starts. And then Channing Tatum is using the fake, which I guess is a real billy club. Even if it's fake, it probably hurts. He's using that. I'm like, okay, that makes sense to use this prop weapon.
It's like a pool noodle.
Then the Alex character starts using the fake gun and pointing it at people. And people are just like, whoa, bro, whoa. And it's like, wait, did you think that the two stripper cops were carrying a real gun?
Did you think
why did you think that?
Dudes came in here and got naked and just left a real gun on the sofa? Did you think that's what the fuck they did? I mean, how also every dude in there has to transfer schools immediately. You cannot live down letting two naked dudes beat you
in front of a room full of women that you're trying to impress.
In front of a room full of women. One of them is your girlfriend. It's just two naked dudes just whooping y'all's asses, like 18 of y'all.
I've never seen that in a movie where the guys are also there. You know what I mean? It's always like
insane to see.
I've actually never seen that in real life. Like, why would the dudes be there?
As soon as they walk in there, immediately they should have been like, why are there dudes here? Like, we can't do our jobs if there's dudes just like in the other room. That's extremely weird. And of course, it went bad as hell. And that's on Channing Tatum. He's supposed to be the old veteran. He should know that that's not right. Like, there's something not right about
Madden awareness level 0 for Channing Tatum.
No, this is all on Alex, bro. I'm sorry. 19, 27 doesn't matter. Like, you were tasked with selling these pills, bro. Like,
not giving them away.
Why are you giving away the product? to random sorority chicks who you're stripping for. Like that's not the move. Did you think
And
you were gonna?
Well, there's an underlying factor that we're leaving out here. He's dumb.
He's the dumbest.
And he's a drug addict.
He's very stupid. He's a very stupid person.
Why did he bring the whole pack? Or he's got half a pack. He couldn't bring I'll bring 20 pills. He had to bring all of it to this house. How many people did he think were going to be in this house? Like, he's got enough pills for the whole fucking campus. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
he's a big time dummy.
How
He's a big time dummy.
How do you bring all of your stock, bro? You're about to get naked for these people. Why do you have your entire stock of ecstasy on you right now?
You're literally going to be in a G-string. What are you doing?
Why did you bring all that? If you want to give away a few pills, okay, but you brought every pill that they gave you, and you've made no money yet. This reminds me of back when I was in college, my freshman year, we had a dude who got into one of those multi-level marketing schemes. My man was selling the Verve. He was selling the Verve energy drink out of his dorm room.
God.
Is this man you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what were you gonna tell us? Are you in debt?
Yes, but not to Verve.
Oh.
But this man, he's a freshman in college. He's like, I'm gonna make me some money. He bought thousands of dollars worth of Verve energy drinks
Oh God.
that he's got in his dorm room. The problem is he lives around a bunch of freshman college boys. We ain't paying for no fucking Verve. So we are bugging this man to death for free samples. Like, hey man, let me try some of the Verve. I might buy some. Let me try some. Oh, dude, you got to try the Verve, man. It's so good. Go talk to Tim. Tim's got some Verve. You got to try that shit. Yeah, none of us have bought any, and we're never gonna buy any. But you got to try that shit. Ask him for a free sample. So we cleaned this man out. Never sold a single can of Verve. Thousands of dollars in debt.
Yikes.
Given a whole fucking college dorm free samples. That's what Alex's character did. Just pulled up with all the ecstasy, sold none of it. We're just giving that shit away. Those kids, they found that ecstasy at the end of that party, and we're like, oh,
whoa, jackpot.
Those
Let's
kids hit the
go.
jackpot. Those kids probably all died. All of them. Everybody at that party died.
It was like Project X when it just snows ecstasy and they're just pills. Yeah.
they took all the ecstasy they could take, and then what they couldn't take, they just sold immediately on campus.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just in the library, just yeah, this is Adderall. I swear to God.
Why didn't Channing Tatum realize that something was up when Alex's character says, "Oh my God, I left my bag. We got to go back." And then 5 seconds later, he goes, "Well, it's only $1,000. Who gives a fuck about $1,000?" His first reaction was, "Holy shit, I left my bag. We got to go back." And if you are going back to a house where somebody hit you with a bottle and multiple men were beating the shit out of you when you were naked, you're probably going to do everything you can do to avoid going back to that house. So the fact that his first inclination was, "Holy shit, we got to go back to that house," probably meant it was more than $1,000 that played there.
Yeah, but then he shakes it off "Nah, dude, it doesn't matter. This dude's so dumb. He's so stupid."
I don't know, 100? What the fuck?
Maybe he is a good actor because he plays a dumbass teenager really, really well.
He's incredibly stupid. And he
How
deserved,
old was
his
he when
sister
this was
deserved a
made?
much better brother.
He was 22 when this was made.
Okay, so not that big a difference. That's fine.
His sister deserved a much better brother because this guy fucking sucks.
Trash.
The scene where after Channing Tatum fronts the $10,000 debt for him, which he knows for a fact he is never seeing a dollar of that money.
Not once. Not
this
even.
fucking kid is not paying a dollar of that back. The kid sits down and the kid is like, "Oh, I know you were saving that for your stupid furniture thing that you do. I just fucking saved you from an ass whooping at best and death at worst. I just saved you from it with my entire life savings, and you're calling the thing that I was saving stupid to my face." I don't know why Channing Tatum never
beat him up. Yeah.
Again. He should have beat the shit out of that guy.
Should have jumped straight across that table and beat the fuck out of that.
I'll
man.
fucking kill you.
You're not gonna sit here and You're not gonna sit here and toast a fucking beer to like this stupid ass shit that you just did. Matter of fact, you're never drinking beer again. You owe me $10,000, bitch. Like you,
You're 19. I'm turning you into the cops. But yeah, now he has to date his sister. You know why I couldn't date his sister? Because every day I come in and look at his dumbass face and be like, "Don't you owe me $10,000?
You owe me $10,000. You having a lot of fun with somebody who owes me $10,000 fucking dollars.
Yeah, are you laughing? You can't laugh if you owe me $10,000. Watching TV. That TV owes me $10,000.
Did you got the large meal?
You supersized that
with my $10,000?
Ooh, boy, you better be selling that new ass truck that you just bought.
But why do Gabriel Iglesias' drug dealer friends come to Channing Tatum's house? Why?
Because they didn't know where the kid lived. They only knew where Channing Tatum lived.
Yeah, the kid's kind of off the radar.
And if they went to the sister's house, he wasn't there either. So they didn't know where he was at.
Somebody just fuck up this house.
I love it. I love that the DJ goes, look, I know. I told them not to hurt you, but these guys don't work for me. I really like that scene. Like, I don't control these guys, bro. Like,
no. You don't understand.
You don't understand.
I'm in some shit.
I'd be pissed off too. Like, you busted up my house over $1,000. You caused more damage than $1,000. He was like, bro, this is not a fucking $1,000. What the fuck are you talking about? You owe this guy 10 grand. It's like, oh shit. All right. Maybe your response is a bit more justified now.
Yeah.
$10,000. I mean, man. Gabriel Iglesias is also a big dumb idiot for fronting that dude $10,000.
For fronting the 19-year-old $10,000.
What's the worst that can happen when you give a 19-year-old more money and more drugs than he's ever experienced in his life with no prior experience in this field? What's going to happen? Oh, look, he fucked it up completely.
Because it's not like this dude was like doing anything that would convince you he could sell drugs.
No, nothing.
You have a six-pack, so you got on stage and you took your clothes off. Like that's the only reason we know you.
He doesn't even know how to strip right.
Like, come on. Like, yeah, Gabriel Iglesias should have got his ass beat way more than he did in this movie.
People trust hot people way too much.
Yeah, this is facts. I'm sorry. And these people like probably don't even know dude's name. Like they literally just call him the kid all the time. Like, nah, I'm not giving this kid $10,000 worth of drugs. No, get the fuck out of here.
No, thank you. Let me tell you what. I thought the relationship, the rapport between, I didn't kind of like her character mostly because she almost the characterization of Brooke in this movie is basically like, oh, she's different. So she's like the don't give a shit girl about these hot dudes. So she's cool. Like, I didn't like the characterization of that. It's very neggy, like 2012, sort of thing. Like it very much was of 10 years ago. And her kind of character, it's almost like she doesn't want to smile at anything when she's having fun with these, like, objectively, like, they're all douchebags. They're all assholes, but I bet they're a good time. You know what I mean?
Gotta be.
Yeah, especially going on. And she's just kind of like grimacing the entire time. So it's just kind of, but their rapport goes from like 0 to 10 really quickly, her and Channing Tatum. And then at the very end, he's just like, so this is just how this is going to end. They haven't even like gone on a date. He's been railing out Olivia Munn this entire time. And he nearly killed her brother in nearly OD'd. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, she'll probably be pissed, but it's a weird characterization to be like, or a weird storyline to be like, so we're just not we're not even done. We're done with this. Like, what is this?
Like, what is this?
Yeah, what are you talking about? We've both been seeing other people this entire time.
Yeah. Like in a long-term relationship.
We've both been seeing each other this entire fucking time. You're knocking down women 2 at a time, 3 at a time, like
doing hard drugs, something that I'm,
You almost killed my little brother after tricking him into sex work. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like, excuse me if I'm not ecstatic about this whole adventure.
I kind of want to see more Olivia Munn as a douchebag. I just love it. It's so different than her other characters. She's a
fits into her personality.
She's a complete piece of shit in this movie. I love it. She's such a creep. She's incredible.
When's the last time we saw Olivia Munn? It's been a minute, hasn't it?
X-Men.
The Newsroom.
That's the X-Men, not the
Newsroom. I like the Newsroom. People don't like the Newsroom. Like
I really enjoyed it. I was sad when I left. I was enjoying it.
She was in she was in X-Men.
Didn't she do Booksmart? Didn't she direct it or some shit like that? She's involved in Booksmart or something.
No, that's Olivia Wilde.
Sorry, I'm mixing up my Olivias.
Yeah, there's so many Olivias. There can only be one.
Oh, she was in the Predator remake.
Oh, I remember that.
Meh.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh, she was in that Ocean 8 movie that flopped.
Hey, that movie was not bad. Nobody saw it. But Rihanna and Anne Hathaway were on the screen together. That was enough for them to get my money. It was a lot of very sexy. Oh, God.
I liked Ocean's 8, but it did flop. But I enjoyed myself.
I may be wrong about this, or did she get like the Katherine Heigl treatment where she's not like well liked?
No, I thought people really liked her.
Like to work with.
Oh, she doesn't work that often. I always wonder if it's a choice or is she just not getting that many calls. I would imagine she would get calls. I mean, she's like a super pretty woman.
Yeah,
and she's not like a bad actress.
Yeah, she's not bad. She's in a lot of just not good things.
Yeah, just random stuff.
Ride Along 2 and Zoolander 2 back to back.
Jesus Christ.
And then X-Men Apocalypse.
That is not a good 3-movie stretch. That is objectively bad.
The Lego Ninjago movie, the worst of the Lego movies.
She was also in Iron Man 2. So yeah, she's just avoid sequels altogether is what I'm hearing. Stop being a sequel to Lift Me Up, man.
No, but anything else that stands out to y'all about this movie? I mean, we can go on and on, but favorite dance sequence? No. Your mic's out, Teach. Do 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 do. Tej mic has gone to shit.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah,
can you hear me?
right. Yes.
Okay. I really like the scene where Channing Tatum just kind of loses it all, and they're all gonna go get fucked up, but it kind of goes to black and white, and you do this little montage. I just really like it. It's a movie for $7 million. It's like those are the kind of touches that show you that even though this movie doesn't cost that much,
it's kind of scary.
Yeah, it is. It changes the whole vibe of the film. It's like, well, this is kind of sinister, which I think it really drives the point home of like the road that this character that you're watching is on. If he keeps going the way he's going and keeps hitching his wagon to Alex, like these dudes are going to end up in a lot of trouble or dead or like very, very, very fucked up. And I just really always appreciate that because it kind of changes the whole tone of the movie. You were having fun, and all of a sudden it's like, well, this isn't fun anymore at all. This is fucking scary.
Yeah. It's a good point. One thing that they did with the movie that I actually kind of enjoyed, the filmmaking choice, making the entire it's like, I don't know why they did it, but like it's interesting. Making the entire outside sepia tone, sort of Outer Banks looking shit, to making the only place with color and stuff pop inside the club.
Yeah,
was actually really interesting to me. Like all outside, maybe just like how sun-washed Florida is, and but it's all, even at night, it's this sort of sepia tone filter over the whole
over Tampa.
Yeah, over Tampa. And inside the club is the only place where you really get these pops of color and actual like how things look normal, which is kind of an interesting way of doing that.
And then when they're on drugs, it's all color, like the screen is red or the screen is blue or whatever.
You know, for better or for worse, the pony scene is now you know, you said a lot of white women like it, but it is now in the cultural zeitgeist. People know that. People know that. They know that's the Channing Tatum sort of stripper song. And strippers, I think, especially male strippers, have probably made bank over that shit.
I'm sure.
I'm sure. that is like a fought over song in the rotation.
Song is incredible by the way. Unironically, that shit jams.
Yeah, so for better or for worse, that is like almost a classic scene at this point. When that song comes on, that's in a movie, you can like almost parody that now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really like that the first song cue that we get in this movie is "It's Raining Men," immediately followed by T-Pain's "Booty Work." That just felt such great content.
I do have to talk about, we said it before, like all the guys are really like, it looks like they've trained for this and all this stuff. Kevin Nash, who, if you don't know Kevin Nash, like he was in like The Punisher as the big Russian guy. You don't remember? I don't know what else he's really been in. He's kind of that dude, that huge. He's huge, man.
Well, he's a wrestler.
Yeah.
An old wrestler.
Yeah. Oh, he was an old wrestler. That's right.
Yeah,
but
he was in NWO. He's one of the he's an NWO member.
He used to chill with Hulk Hogan and all them.
But Kevin Nash, man, he's 6'11". Holy fuck.
He's massive. And this whole film, he is towering over everyone.
And you wouldn't be surprised. Like all these guys, they're probably shorter than you think. Like maybe Channing Tatum 6 foot tall. Maybe McConaughey 6 foot tall, but all the other guys aren't. And like, there's just a scene, and I forget. It's like they're all in a row, like doing it, and he like turns around, and they're all doing like these rolls and stuff like that, and he's just going like,
kind of derping along.
Yeah, he's kind of like doing the robot almost. He's like doot 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 doot. Like it's just this weird sort of, you notice so easily. Like I just had to like, it took away from the rest of the scene because I was like, Kevin Nash isn't even trying.
What are you doing, bro?
He so
owed somebody
stiff.
a favor. I'm telling you, he didn't
He's so
actually want to
stiff
be in this movie.
and so uncomfortable. It is hilarious to watch. You can find it if you watch closely. Just go find it, and they bury him at the end of the screen so you don't see him. But he stands out because he's 7 foot tall.
He's the biggest person on the set, so he stands out every time he's in the shot.
Speaking of Kevin Nash and uncomfortable, at the start of this movie, when like they first bring whatever his name is, like to the strip club and into the like the locker room or whatever you call it for
His name's
strippers.
Adam.
Yeah, Adam. Fuck him. But like, and Kevin Nash is like, rub some lotion on my leg. Just do it. I was like, this. If this is gonna be this kind of movie, I don't know if I can hang, bro. Like, that shit was so uncomfortable. I was like, this is fucking tense. I don't like this shit. Like, just rub the fucking lotion on his leg. Get me out of here, please.
Of the lotion on the skin, or it gets the hose again.
It got real Jailhouse Rules in there. Big 6'11" dude is like, "You're gonna rub some lotion on my skin for initiation." I was just like,
Do it.
What kind of film is this? What are we?
Yeah.
Where are we gonna think of this?
I was like, I didn't know this movie was about Channing Tatum literally like human trafficking this man.
How much peer pressure would it take for you to actually go do that? Because they just push him out there. They're like, go. It would take a hell. I would have been like, no, what?
Current me or 19-year-old me?
Yeah,
What's the
19.
difference?
19.
Am I hot?
If the women in the crowd were cute enough, and if I was hot enough and more as confident enough in my body, I'd probably go do it.
Yeah, like if I could pull out, like take off my shirt and I got the 6-pack going, then like, yeah, I'm with it. But
I got to tell you, I have never once had a 6-pack. Still
Same.
don't. And at 19, I for sure didn't. I'm just this skinny, like weird looking kid. I would have been like, no, thank you. Do you have a
Yeah.
robe?
at 19, I was still like working off the freshman 15 at that point. It was not happening. I would
Same.
have got like $2 on that stage. Like I'm not
Same.
going-
They would have looked at me
19
crazy.
was probably the most that I've ever like actually worked out, and I still had the weird pot belly. So it's just like they'd be like, "Yeah, take off your shirt," and then it'd just be, "Oh man,
Oh, man.
this
he
is
brought the
dis-
house down. He did
this is
something right, but he's a good looking guy.
disappointing."
You see the women of Tampa slowly making their way towards the exit. Like, yeah. All right.
Somebody
time's over.
pulls a fire alarm. Like, Get him out.
If I was 19 and the women of Tampa booed me or walked out on me, I'd be sick because if I can't get the women of Tampa on my side, it's not looking good for women in any other major cities.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the women of Tampa is a good starting point of gauging exactly what your power might be.
Wait, so now I got to go to Tallahassee?
Nah, bro, you're done. You gotta go to fucking Salt Lake City. That's your
That's your only hope.
I do real well with my clothes on. Give me a jacket. I'm incredible.
The women of Gary, Indiana. My fucking
Oh man, Butte, Montana. Oh my god. Anything else?
No, go see Magic Mike if you haven't seen it. Don't feel like you're gay if you watch it. It's just a movie about people like every other movie.
Tell you what, watch it with your wife or girlfriend.
Oh yeah, she's gonna have a great time. She's gonna have a great time. Women fucking love this movie.
She gonna be ready.
Hey, pour a glass of wine. Watch this with your significant other. Y'all will have a great time. No matter your preference, honestly, y'all will have a great time.
Matthew McConaughey had those women literally grabbing at him and ripping him apart like a
that's what I
pack
had
of
to
hyenas.
say. That's what I had to say. I wondered how many of these women were just Tampa natives. They're like, "You want to come touch McConaughey?"
Yeah, like, yes, I could. Yes, I think I'll sign up for that.
Like the women that they're flipping upside down and stuff. Like maybe those are extras that they paid, but like maybe not. They're just like,
Maybe
"Hey,
not.
you want to be grinded on by Channing Tatum?" They're like, "Okay, yeah, sure."
Yeah, it was either that or staying home and watching the news. So I guess I'll go rub on Channing Tatum.
You're not gonna go watch the Tampa Bay Rays.
All right. So while we've been doing this podcast, I've been thinking about another question. So do you think that part of Channing Tatum's problem as an actor and why he's not a bigger star is because his name is Channing Tatum? I feel like if he just had a regular ass, just normal name, if like fucking Matt Damon is a regular ass fucking name. Tom Cruise, regular ass name. We got a bunch of Matts and Toms, Johnnies and Jacks and all this.
This
other
man's
shit.
name is Channing.
His man's name is Channing Tatum, and he's swole. He's got a big ass head. Everyone just thinks of him as the hot one.
He does have a big ass head. As someone with a big ass head, he has a big ass head.
And his name is Channing Tatum. Like you can't even just say like Channing. It's Channing Tatum every time. I feel like that's held him back.
Nah. I think it's the acting thing.
There's plenty of bad actors who get tons of movies.
He's in tons of movies.
I just feel like
He's had a run. Like, are we going to pretend that he hasn't had his moments?
When is the last time, other than Free Guy, that he's been in something though?
They screwed him over in Kingsman: The Golden Circle, like a bait and switch.
Oh,
in that.
that's right. That's right.
Logan Lucky was his vehicle and was just not seen by a lot of people, but it was objectively like a very good. It was better than this movie. It was better.
I've never seen it, and everybody says that it's good. I've never seen it.
It's good. That's his, but it also is, an incredible Daniel Craig doing the only Daniel Craig accent he knows how to do, which is the country accent.
I love Daniel Craig.
And Adam Driver during that movie. It's just a really good.
I need to watch this.
Time. It's on Amazon, I think. But yeah, he kind of is like on and off with stuff, but also, not for nothing, like he's been gone through like a very public divorce and things like that.
Yeah. But he's back out here. He's with what's her name?
Lisa Bonet.
Yeah, no.
Wait, who's with Lisa Bonet?
No, the younger one. what's her name?
Oh, Zoe Kravitz?
Oh no, Momoa's with Lisa Bonet.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, wait, did I miss something?
Yeah, no, not Lisa Bonet.
He's with Zoe Kravitz. Sorry,
that would have broken life.
That is not a bad way to deal with post divorces. Coming home to Zoe Kravitz every day.
Yeah.
There are worse ways
riding
to live.
bikes and shit.
Worse ways to live.
He's done some animated stuff. It just, he doesn't work as prolifically as you would think, like you said, but he had his moment. So it's not like he didn't, like there was a moment in there where he was in a lot of shit, action movies and things like that.
We need more Channing Tatum.
I mean, this run, this run of Haywire, The Vow, which wasn't a good movie, but it was one of those with Rachel McAdams. It was one of those oh, what's the
Is that one of those Nicholas Sparks movies?
Yeah, I think it's like a Nicholas Sparks movie.
Got it.
You know, it just, I'm probably wrong about that, but it's in that same vein. Side Effects, This Is the End, White House Down, the Lego Movie, Magic Mike, 21 Jump Street, Heat, and 22 Jump Street, and Foxcatcher, which was an Academy Award nominated movie. He had his run.
Stunk.
And then it kind of though ended, and his star kind of faded when he made Jupiter Ascending.
What? How come Ryan Reynolds keeps getting roles, but Channing Tatum can't get roles?
Let's
that
talk
seems
about
weird
it.
to me.
Ryan
That
Reynolds
seems
is
weird to
more
me.
natural, but Ryan Reynolds is more naturally funny than Channing Tatum. I think
Is he?
lot of Channing. Yes, I
Is
think a
he
lot
though?
of. I think a lot of Channing Tatum stuff is manufactured by other people. He's just very good at doing it.
Oh,
Okay, I can respect that, but
I can give you that.
Like a lot of
The-
21 Jump Street is Jonah Hill being like, I feel like, hey man, this would be funny. Not to say that he wouldn't come to the table with ideas and stuff, and he's not creative like that.
That's fair.
But he's
That's
not a
fair.
natural comedian. You know what I mean? Like Ryan Reynolds been doing this shit for like 30 years, doing the Ryan Reynolds character, and it's just come back into style. You know what I mean?
Is Deadpool funnier than 21 Jump Street?
oh,
No,
It's
but
not, is it?
no, but it's a different kind of thing.
They're letting Ryan Reynolds do straight action movies. They're letting Ryan Reynolds do whatever the fuck he wants to out here.
But Ryan
Some
Reynolds'
of those-
straight action movies aren't good though either. Like Six
first-
Underground
I-
stunk.
First of all, we're not going to slander 600 Ground.
Six
on this
Underground was
podcast.
one of the worst movies I've ever seen. That
We're
movie
We're not
is
still
going to
haven't
slander
seen it,
600
I'm
Ground on
sorry.
this podcast. It's
Movie was-
incredible cinema.
but
And second of all, some of those Ryan Reynolds parts need to be Channing Tatum parts. There's enough room out here for both of them. Why am I
There
only
is.
seeing one of them?
Yeah, I mean Channing Tatum definitely. Like as much as I love John Cena, I am a John Cena stan. Never question my goat. Channing Tatum could have done every single John Cena role.
yeah. That's
And
fair.
about-
That is fair.
How has Channing Tatum not popped up in a Fast and Furious movie? All you need to do is be good looking. No, half those people can't act. Vin Diesel
Ooh,
can't act.
that is the
How come
that
he
is the
can't be in those
perfect.
movies?
Ooh, that is the perfect Rock replacement.
Yes, we need this.
Do it.
Yeah. If you
Channing
need the
Tatum.
if you need the charisma, if we're talking about our lack of charisma, like we did in the last movie, give it to Channing Tatum. He can bring it.
The One Take Podcast Agency, Channing Tatum, our first client. We are getting you paid, brother. Like,
Facts.
DM us
10
if
through
you're listening.
15 are yours.
You're
Once
gonna
Vin
be in-
Diesel inevitably turns 78, this movie is
This whole franchise could be yours, Channing. It could
Whatever.
be yours.
whatever female comedian comes along that needs to do a rated R comedy. We're putting you in that shit. Like, we're gonna put you we're gonna make you the love interest of like fucking Ali Wong or some shit.
Oh, I
in a
love that.
movie.
You got to
Like-
make him the love interest of a comedian who's like he's way hotter than her, and that's the joke. We can do that.
Awkwafina.
We can make 2 movies. If we put him and Aquafina together, that's a hit. We're gonna make $70 million.
printing money.
Printing money. We're sharing all of our good ideas on the podcast. We're gonna
Okay,
stop doing
hey,
that.
you cannot take these. These are our ideas.
Please do not cast it. If I see a script for an Aquafina and Channing Tatum film floating around somewhere, someone's getting sued. Goddamn it! So don't do it.
Or we'll take 10%.
Whatever works.
Whichever works for y'all. Somebody in California is listening to this right now, like, God damn, that's a good idea. All right. Channing Tatum needs more roles. That is what we've taken away from this. All right. We will get to our chick flicks draft right after this ad break from Apollo Houston. And I'm going to grab an adult beverage. Pause this. Y'all talk to keep the live stream going.
Oh yeah. What up, live stream viewers?
I need the first pick in the chick pick draft because I don't want my first pick to be taken by one of you bastards.
You know what? I'll let you have it. We'll go
Thank you.
Tej, Royden, Dex because I need the turn on this one.
I have
haven't-
so many options.
There's so Fuck it. I'm gonna live tweet these. We're gonna have to play to the crowd here.
Yes, you have to live tweet these. These are going to be good.
I never go back and tweet them.
You always say, "Oh, I'm going to go back and tweet them." It's like, "Oh, it never happened."
No, I'm not doing that. But yeah, I gotta live tweet these. So
Perfect.
that'll definitely change the way that I draft, knowing that the internet can roast.
Knowing the internet can roast me in real time.
All right, we are going to be drafting top chick flicks. How are we going to do this? Who wants to go first?
It's
I'm
gonna
first.
be Tease, Royden, Dex.
Oh, I think this is like we've done this like several times, but with 3 people, that's how it works.
Yeah,
This is the easiest draft that we've ever had for me because I love chick flicks. This is the easiest draft we've ever done.
Okay.
With the first pick, I'm taking the greatest chick flick of all time. I've seen this movie probably 100 times. I'm taking Mean Girls. If you've
Damn,
never seen
yep.
Mean Girls, you need to watch Mean Girls. It is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. Go see Mean Girls. I'm taking Mean Girls. Protect Lindsay Lohan at all costs.
It's Mean Girls. Everyone knows. It's incredible. It's amazing. If you've never seen it, you're not living right. Like, you gotta watch that shit.
Please raise your hand if you've been publicly victimized by Regina George.
I didn't see that movie until like pretty late in high school. I think it was like late junior year or something like that. And this was like when I was like big into Tumblr and like Twitter was just starting to like come
That
around
makes
for
sense.
me.
That makes sense.
And I was like, oh shit. Literally every joke that I've ever seen on the internet is from this movie.
It's all coming together now.
Yeah.
That is Tina Fey coming off of SNL and just dropping heat like for
What
her
a
screenplay.
heater.
And incredible, like, and she captures it incredibly well, like the high school sort of experience for Mean Girls. Well, all right. So my pick, I'm gonna go with a recent one, and you may have to see if this classifies as a chick flick, but it was one of the biggest hits of this decade. Crazy Rich Asians is
I'll allow it.
yeah. That is that wedding scene. We've talked about it a dozen times.
The
Tears into my eyes. I saw that with Caitlin. I was like, I'm gonna cry. Like,
The
Really
greatest
good.
wedding scene I've ever seen in a movie, man. That's when my good sis stepped out onto that water and walking.
and it wasn't even their wedding.
Yeah, it wasn't even the main character's wedding. It's just a wedding that's happening. Incredible.
The good-looking sister who doesn't tell any jokes in that movie, her performance is so good. I had no idea who it was, and I was like, I'm gonna watch everything this woman does from now on. She crushes it. That's a great film. Great choice.
I mean,
And now she's in multiple MCU movies.
Now she's everywhere.
the fact that what's his name? Sorry, the guy, the lead in that.
Oh, I should get the guy's name.
Henry Golding.
Yeah, Henry
that's the
Golding
name.
was
There you
literally doing like travel commercials and like travel shows, and had never really acted before. And they're like, "Hey, we need a guy to play this." And it took like 2 years to like find a guy to do this, and he didn't accept it initially. Like he thought it was almost like a joke. He was like, "No."
He wanted to do more travel commercials.
Yeah, he had it. He just got married. I listened to a podcast him talking about it. He just got married. He had a steady job doing like these travel shows in Asia and doing like a 9-to-5 TV job. And then they found him on Facebook because he had hosted an awards show.
Holy shit!
And the assistant of the director had found him on Facebook, or was Facebook friends with him or something like that. And they tracked him down. They're like, "Hey, you want to be in this movie?" And now he's like one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. He
That's
never
insane.
acted in a movie before.
Is that why I haven't been discovered? Because I'm not on Facebook.
No, that you're just not Henry Golding good looking. To be perfectly honest, like,
That guy's really good looking. He does a great job in that movie.
I mean, if we were Henry Golding good looking, like, you know, maybe.
we can be discovered. Damn it.
And British.
And British. Some people have
Justice
it
for
all.
Snake Eyes. That's all I say. Justice for Snake Eyes.
Might go check that out this Friday.
It's not a bad time. Anyway, so with my first pick, I have to take a movie from the Queen. My goat, Reese Witherspoon.
Oh
Give me
no! Damn it!
Legally Blonde.
Damn it!
Oh.
You all knew what time it was. She's funny. The
Shit.
movie's funny, like just iconic. They're giving us another movie, which I'm
Really?
here for it. Yeah, they're making another one. Or
They're
at
making
least
another
they
one.
were.
Yep.
I don't know what the status of it is post COVID or whatever, but it should be happening, and she'll be back in it. And I'm always here for Reese Witherspoon. She was an incredible performance in that movie. Iconic dialogue, just quote after quote after quote.
I mean, commits 110% to that film, and it holds up because of her.
yeah,
Honestly, it just really is. It holds up better than most movies from 2004.
Reese
Yeah,
Witherspoon has
for
given
sure.
us some amazing, incredible performances. I love Reese Witherspoon. I love her.
that is my
and-
go. I have her book sitting on my bookshelf over there behind me. I went and saw her like do just like an interview during her book tour live, and I was like, "This is the best moment of my life." Reese Witherspoon is like 20 feet away from me, just talking about a book that she wrote. Reese Witherspoon is one of my favorite people of all time. I hope she never lets me down. Shout out to Reese Witherspoon.
Please don't
And-
say anything crazy about the vaccine or anything, Reese Witherspoon.
No,
Please,
she's with it. She's on top of like she's like on in Beyonce with Beyonce's inner circle now. Like, what is this?
yes,
Yeah, she
she's
got
getting
the
the
Beyonce
Beyonce
cosign.
stimulus package. I saw that. What a
Dropped
queen!
the fucking Ivy Park like try on video. I was like,
Absolute
let's go.
She's like
Yeah.
somehow transitioned into the like. I mean, she's a great actor, and now, but she's now producing like she did. Gone Girl. She produced Gone Girl. You know, like she's transitioning into this producer, but also like
She
lifestyle
produced a-
brand.
She produced a Fincher movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Holy
produced Gone
shit! I did
Girl.
not know that.
She
She's
finds these
producing-
books that she likes and options them because she has this book club or whatever that go like an Oprah book club, whatever. And if it gets that stamp of approval, it goes
Wow.
like New York Times bestseller. And so she's transitioned into this sort of like weird late stage career of being like mommy blogger, lifestyle brand person, but also with all this clout in Hollywood.
Yeah, and she
It's an
like,
Wow.
interesting life.
she uses that clout to like put on women directors and like take on like women written novels and like make them into movies like directed by women. It's dope. Shout out to Reese Witherspoon, like doing it right.
Long live Reese Witherspoon.
All right, fourth pick. I'm gonna go ahead and take just a movie that I probably could take later, but I just really love this movie, The Proposal. With Sandra Bullock and Ryan
Oh,
Reynolds.
speaking of Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
Yeah,
There's Ryan Reynolds again.
that the last time that I was really just like, yeah, Ryan Reynolds, love that guy, because that was before Ryan Reynolds fatigue set in. But The Proposal is hilarious. Betty White is hilarious in that movie as like the grandmother who is like
That was the
comically-
revival, started the revival of Betty White being in
Yeah.
like the cultural zeitgeist, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because like up until that point, I just like knew who Betty White was. I wasn't like super into any of Betty White's older work or whatever, but I just knew who she was because she was old as shit. And that was like 15 years ago, and Betty White is still that same person.
Good Lord, just
Like Betty White is still just the person we all know because she's old as shit and we don't want her to die. Like,
Mhm.
But The Proposal, incredible. I don't have as much to say about it as I do about Reese Witherspoon and Legally Blonde, but I love that movie. I have it on DVD and I watch it like probably once a month.
My next pick is there's fatigue about it and there's jokes about it for a reason. The Notebook. The Notebook is the ultimate cheesy ass melodrama chick flick starring two actors that would go on to do a lot better shit.
Yeah.
And actually multiple actors that would go on to do a lot better shit. But it is hot people in a cheesy ass Southern Gothic story. Not even Gothic story, but Southern story. Overacting, and it was the start of that Nicholas Sparks nasty era of just bad movies.
As soon as that movie did what it did, they literally grabbed all this dude's books. It was like, all right, so we're gonna make all of these.
Yeah.
all these are going to become films.
Yep. Immediately made him a billionaire. That dude is so rich.
Oh my god, that dude is rich as shit.
But yeah, so, and you know, it's memeable for a reason, but it's Ryan Reynolds, or not Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling turning into Ryan Gosling right before our eyes. Rachel McAdams didn't start doing better projects until a little bit later in her career, but there's just something there that you can kind of see. They're like, all right, eventually it makes sense that these people can be stars, and then just like the most kind of slap in the face ending when they when they it cry porn ending whenever they die together. You know what I mean? They did that on purpose. Yeah, they did that on purpose. And you're just kind of like, oh my god, and it's just like that wouldn't happen. Yeah. Anyway,
Royden just watching the Notebook like that's not real.
Fuck this movie.
except for then you get that occasional news story where it's like they died 15 minutes after each
Holding
other. And you're like,
hands,
oh
yes.
god.
All right, so my second and third pick. I'm going to pick Bridesmaids for my next pick.
Nice,
Incredible film. Very.
Is that a
funny.
chick flick or is that a fucking just comedy, man?
It's a chick
It's
flick,
both.
bro.
That's both.
It's
I'll give
both.
it both.
But it's
That
God.
exists more in the Hangover
That's
knocked
true.
up range than it does to me to like chick flick range. You know what I mean?
But it's
That
the
makes
chick
sense.
version of those movies. Like it's that movie for women.
Yeah, true. That's fair.
Fucking love that movie. And my next film, where I'm gonna pick this film with the caveat that we really need to have an episode about the run that this man went on around this time. I'm taking Four Christmases with
Really?
Queen Reese Witherspoon.
I love that movie. That movie is
and
hilarious.
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
We have to talk about Vince Vaughn one day on this podcast. Vince Vaughn, for like 5 years, was the funniest white person in Hollywood. He's so good at Four Christmases. His performance is incredible. Every time I watch, I'm just like, this is the funniest person ever. Too bad he's like a Republican douchebag and he's a bad person. But man, that man was funny in his prime. He gave us some great films. I love Four Christmases. I'm going with Four Christmases.
His run with S. Craig Zoller right now is problematic. But
Oh my God.
We don't have to talk about it.
Please let's not talk about it.
but
Holy shit, man.
the Four Christmases thing, especially him and John Favreau, like, you know, trying to hang up the TV, like MMA and like trying to hang up the TV dish and like all that stuff. And like Reese Witherspoon hitting the baby's head and shit on stuff. It just, the sequence of events in that is very fun. Yeah, it's a great movie.
That's an incredible film.
Underrated Christmas movie too.
Incredible film. Don't know why I didn't do better. I just love it. And of course, you got Reese Witherspoon. She gets to a bounty house and gets attacked by a bunch of kids. It's a great film. A lot of people haven't seen it. If you haven't seen Four Christmases, go watch it. It's hilarious.
I'm gonna do the Twitter vote. I'm gonna go with Princess Diaries.
Nice.
That would be cool if it was your pick.
It's not your pick. Wait, it is his pick.
Yeah, it is my
because-
pick.
Yeah, it is his
Wait,
pick.
it is?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Were you about
So-
to pick that movie?
With my pick, I'm gonna go with Princess Diaries. 2001 with Anne Hathaway. Suck my dick.
Fuck off.
Princess Diaries. It really was one of those things where it should not have been as good as it was. And that's all based on Anne Hathaway. And what happened? I mean, she won an Oscar, but what happened to her career? It's just, she has such an interesting career, man. Just a weird career. But the fact that it started like this, and this movie was a hit too. And then you got like Dame Julie Andrews in this fucking movie.
Yep.
You know, like Sound of Music is in this movie. Like, what is this?
Have I revealed that my law school roommate was obsessed with Anne Hathaway, and I made fun of him all the time because I was not attracted to Anne Hathaway. She's way
I
too
get
skinny
it.
for me.
I
I
get
was
it.
never attracted to Anne Hathaway, and I, being a normal person, walked into Ocean's 8, very excited to see Rihanna, and Anne Hathaway was so gorgeous. I was like, holy shit, why have I been sleep on Anne Hathaway this whole time? But it was because she felt like she was fat in the movie, but I felt like her body looked amazing in the movie. But Anne Hathaway was like, because she had just had a baby or something, so she was like bigger. I was like, I love this Anne Hathaway. And I was like, oh, I understand now why I was not into her, because she always thought I was too skinny. But in Ocean's 8, it's perfect. Watch
I
Ocean's
love-
8.
I love the ugly duckling transformation. I'm a sucker for whatever gender, the ugly duckling transformation into.
Take off your glasses, straighten your hair.
Yes.
I'm a sucker for it,
She's all
man.
that.
Got it.
I've been a sucker
It
for it
works
since
on
I
you.
started watching an 80s movie, like 16 Candles. Like my mom started showing me like 16 Candles and shit like that when I was younger. So it's just like that kind of shit. Yeah, I'm a big sucker for it. It's mostly,
I've
you
been
know,
attracted to Anne Hathaway my entire life because I was like 6 years old when Princess Diaries came out,
right?
and Mia was the baddest bitch I ever seen at that point. Like,
Her transformation, she's like, because her hair is nuts, and like she's got on these glasses, and she's dressed weird, and she's gangly, and then they just transfer into like a princess, and you're just like, what the like, as like a 7-year-old, you're like, what the hell? So confused by that movie trick. This isn't the same person.
her hair is straight now. How did they do it?
Right. All right. Dex, 2 picks.
All right, so the ninth pick, shout out to listener, friend of the pod, for former guest, again, future guest, Sarah Johnston. I'm gonna take Mamma Mia.
Hell yeah.
I didn't see that movie until like right before the second one like was about to come out, because me and my mom were just sitting on the couch one day and we were like, fuck it, let's watch Mamma Mia. That movie is fucking delightful. I will not apologize. I love that.
I haven't seen the second one, but apparently people really like the second one too, even though it doesn't have anything like it in no correlation relates to like the actual music, and they basically just repeat the same movie.
Yeah.
So
Just do it again.
yeah.
It's like they just like Lily James, come be Meryl Streep for a little bit, but it works. So
I refused when I was younger because I was like, you know, in 2008, I was like, what, 13, 14. And my mom she loved I always grew up on musicals and we would go and see musicals, but I was like, I'm not going to watch this chick flick, who's my dad thing. Are you my dad? Like this movie, like, and I didn't even know it was based on like ABBA song. I didn't know who ABBA was and like all this stuff.
I was not checking for ABBA. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And then actually in retrospect, just to like form an entire musical off of like one band's songs is crazy.
And I
And
need them to
right
do
around it.
more.
Yeah,
I need
and right
more.
around it.
Yeah,
The
the concept is so cool if you can do it right. It's like such a cool experience.
The Drake definitive musical.
Give me
Oh,
the
God.
Fleetwood Mac version
not
of this. I need
Yes.
that.
Rumors the musical. I'm in.
Yes, I need that.
That would
We
actually
gotta
work.
stop giving ideas on this podcast. We have to stop, guys.
How
We're
is
gonna fucking
nobody
make this
made
shit one
that
day.
fucking movie?
Well, because we're not talented enough to make it. We're just
We
on here
can't make
going, yeah.
We're
Somebody
just giving people ideas. Someone's gonna fucking make it.
Contact the One Take Podcast agency via DM on Twitter at One Take Pod for all of these great ass ideas. We'll make
We're-
you billionaires, and
we're
we'll just
ideas
do 10%.
guys.
We're gonna
Ideas,
regret this because they made the Queen musical and that shit was a piece of shit. And
Oh, that shit was so bad.
God damn it.
They just need to lock us into a room like a think tank, like a precog, and just
Yes.
like be like, all right, what ideas you got for us?
That's the best.
Like
That's
a
what
Mad
I can do
Lib.
best.
Yeah. Fucking somebody from Disney can just sit me in one of the suites for a couple months at a time and just be like, every few days, just come in. Hey, what you got for us? And I'll have some heat. I promise.
There's gonna be some stinkers in there, but there's gonna be some fucking heat that comes out
Yeah,
of that.
1 out of 3 is gonna be some heat.
You're Disney. You can market it to make it work.
Yeah, you can afford a couple losses on these. That's all you.
You
Come
can
on.
afford a couple of laws. You'll be fine.
It's not even gonna be like a John Carter level loss. It'll be way lower.
Nah.
than that.
Feel like a Monsters University loss where you're still making money, but like not what you thought.
Yeah, you're just not making $2 billion. You're making like 400 million.
A respectable ROI. That's all we ask for.
Yeah, that's all you need.
My neck. Did you pick 2 picks?
Wait, no, Dex has
Nah.
another one.
Another one,
I'll
yeah.
get my final one. I feel like I've taken this on multiple drafts at this point, but I just got to do it because I just love this movie so fucking much. John Tucker Must Die.
I've
Some
still
people
never
think-
seen that movie.
I mean, it's basically Mean Girls, but with a dude.
It's a 2004 teenage high school comedy. Like it is. Yeah,
I need to watch this. I love a high school comedy.
I love it so much. It's so dumb and just so nice. I watched it as a kid. I probably shouldn't have watched it as young as I watched it,
bad.
but I loved it, and it was just so much fun. And I've just never grown out of it. John Tucker Must Die. Shout out.
John Tucker doesn't die. By the way,
He does not die.
he does not die.
Spoiler alert.
My
But
neck,
Ashanti's in it. And Ashanti didn't have an acting career for a reason, but I was very grateful to watch Ashanti in a movie as a child. So
There's a ton of picks that you probably go with, even older than the ones that I'm going to go with. A few Tom Hanks ones, probably. Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan, which I love. But this is a movie that I've sworn by, and I got to stand by it, and I got to pick it. If you haven't watched it, I think it's on HBO Max. It is called In Time. No,
Is this
sorry.
Justin-
No, it's called About Time.
Oh, I'm about to say what?
Sorry.
I was like, bro, are you literally gonna work in time in every single draft that we had?
You're right. Oh God, that was a Freudian
I'm so
slip.
confused.
That was a Freudian slip. But no, it's called About Time. Speaking of Rachel McAdams, it's with Rachel McAdams and Domhnall Gleeson. It's more about like time travel and like a guy trying to figure it out his way, like trying to fall in love with this girl through time and stuff like that. And he can time travel back and forth and kind of change things. But he falls in love with this girl and doesn't want to. It's a very emotional, very melancholy kind of movie, but it's so sweet. Like you got to, if you haven't seen it, go watch it because it is genuinely like one of the, I guess, sweetest films that I think I've ever seen, honestly, in a long time. And it's by the guy that made what's the Christmas movie that we hated with all the people in it?
Fuck, what is that called? Shit, with the cards at the end. That's really stupid. What is that fucking movie called?
Why are we missing this up?
What cards?
Where the dude is like holding the cards outside the lady's house, and it's like, yeah, you're married to my friend, but I want to fuck you still.
This sounds like a weird movie.
You know exactly what this movie is. Holy shit.
Shit, what is this movie called?
It's not in my brain. It's gone.
We're the worst movie podcast of all time.
Of all time. Holy shit. People are screaming right now.
Everyone's screaming the name of this at their fucking Apple
God
product.
damn it. Hold on. 40 best Christmas movies of all time. If I cannot find this movie.
It's by the dude that did like Valentine's Day or New Year's Eve.
Are you talking about Love Actually? No, that's
Yes. Thank God.
Fuck.
It's About Time is by the dude that did Love Actually. Holy shit. How did we not? Because that title stinks for a Christmas movie. That title blows.
God
we
damn
finally
it.
got
How
the
could
title.
we not? Holy shit.
Goddamn. All right. About Time. Go watch it.
I'm truly embarrassed right now.
I'm not. That movie sucks.
I'm not into that movie, so I don't feel bad about not knowing.
Creepy.
Yeah, that movie is ass.
Go listen to our Love Actually episode, by the way.
For my last pick in the end of the draft, I'm taking a classic. There's an unfortunate incest plotline of this film, but other than that, it's a perfect film.
No.
It is Clueless. Clueless is amazing. I cannot explain to you how attracted I was to Stacey Dash at this time in my life. Oh my god. Holy shit. Clueless is amazing.
The fact that Paul Rudd has like withstood the test of time with that movie just speaks to how good
Crazy.
Paul Rudd is.
Yes.
But also,
Crazy.
yikes, bro.
He literally is trying to bang his stepsister in this film.
High school stepsister.
High school stepsister. He's in college.
Underage stepsister.
It's really gross. Other than that, it's great. Stacey Dash was in her prime. Now she looks like a used sock, but before then, in Clueless time, she was one of the most gorgeous women to ever grace the earth. It's a great film.
She looks like a used sock.
She looks like a
And
used sock now.
she
And
talks
she
like
has the
a
worst.
bot. She talks like a Twitter bot who was trained to just respond to only Trump supporters.
She's aging like Donald Trump, and that's what she deserves. But there was a time where life was good, and she was in Clueless, and she was gorgeous, and she could have done anything she wanted from there, and she ruined her life. But anyway,
Tell you what, Alicia Silverstone and Paul Rudd have minded their business, and they
Yeah.
great.
There's something to be said about minding your business. Also, Paul Rudd looks exactly the same now that he did in this movie.
That's
which is
he's
weird.
he's a witch. I don't
He
know.
looks exactly the same. It's crazy. Clueless came out like in the 90s. It's crazy. He looks.
They're
just he
always
does
like,
in
drop
Ant-Man.
your skincare routine, and all he says is like, oh, just wear sunscreen. What baby did you sacrifice? Bullshit.
But
But yeah,
also,
I'm taking-
if you still haven't seen Clueless before and you go back and watch it for the first time now, because Paul Rudd looks exactly the same, it makes the incest plotline even worse.
Even weirder. Yes, it makes it even weirder.
Because you're like, yeah, that's just Paul Rudd.
And 45-year-old Ant-Man. Oh man. Apollo Des said that Crazy Stupid Love not being picked is a travesty. And to that
I've
I say
taken that
that's just a comedy.
I've taken that shit in like 17 different drafts, by the way.
Crazy
Yeah, we've
Stupid
taken
Love
it.
is fire though. So I'm not.
No, like I
don't think
nearly
it's a chick
picked
flick.
it.
I don't
Really,
think it's a chick flick.
it's not because one, it's based on two dudes trying to like have sex with women. Like, you know,
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
But
And of
great
course-
movie.
Yeah, of course. Like we stand Crazy Stupid Love on this podcast. Go listen to our Crazy Stupid Love episode.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
It is absolutely like my favorite movie. Like one of the best. It's actually the best romantic comedy I think of the last 20 years, probably. But it's not a chick flick. There's a difference. There's a little bit of a distinct difference between romantic comedy and chick flick. It ain't it.
Yeah,
Because it's Steve Carell trying to bang out Marissa Tomei. Like that's what that movie is. That's not a chick flick.
yeah, he goes from
That's
Julianne
every-
Moore. to
that's every
Marissa
dude's
Tomei
fantasy.
and back.
This is a Marissa Tomei stand podcast, by the way. If you guys
Facts.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my God.
The fact we haven't ever talked about that. The fact that Aunt May just gets progressively younger and better looking throughout these movies is
It's
a
insane.
weird choice. But also, I put in the group message the fact that Happy Hogan, John Favreau, beat in canon is such a funny thing that the creators of all of these movies have done, where they're just like, you know what? You started Iron Man. We're gonna give you this shit. We're gonna write this in.
Incredible.
Love me some Marissa Tomei. She literally gets sexier as she gets older. It's insane.
She's in her 50s and still looks just fucking incredible. What? Just I love her so much.
All right, we're gonna get off of this before we get bonked. More movies that we missed. This says the list I'm on says Hustlers, which I don't know about that.
I really loved Hustlers, but
I like her. So is it? Yeah, I guess it's a chick flick. Yeah.
J Lo was
Chick flick.
criminally robbed of an Oscar
Oh
nomination,
my
by the way.
God. I might watch that tonight. Speaking of the bunk,
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, which is like the classic chick flick
It's
rom com.
okay.
Let's see.
I prefer She's All That personally to How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Sleepless in Seattle, or
Yeah,
the
a big
follow up,
one.
You've Got Mail,
That's a big one too.
which is just a dude gaslighting a woman that he knows. Like that, you go back and watch that movie. It's just gaslighting the movie.
That title wouldn't have gone over nearly as well.
You've
No.
got like you got your classics like your TNT bangers like Bring It On, amazing.
True.
Bring It On's
Oh,
great.
here's my one that we used to watch all the time. I don't know why, but Miss Congeniality with Sandra Bullock.
Yep.
Does You Got Served count as a chick flick? Because if so, it's the greatest chick flick of all time.
No.
Okay, never mind.
Dirty Dancing, of course. That's the ultimate one. This says Booksmart. I don't think so. Booksmart's just a comedy.
No, Booksmart is a
Give a
chick
chick
flick.
flick. Yeah.
Really?
It's a comedy, but it's a chick flick.
Yeah, it's super bad. 4 girls.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, where they all fit in the same pants. The movie.
The movie.
It's so crazy because all these pants fit all of us the same. What a weird concept to a movie.
This list has Enchanted on it, which I would just consider like a kids movie and not a
You know what?
flick, but I love
I
Enchanted.
genuinely think Enchanted's a very good movie. Amy Adams commits 118%.
Nobody said Pitch Perfect. Those movies are great.
Oh, what I was
Yeah.
gonna. Okay, this one, To All the Boys I Loved Before, is also one that came out recently. That is actually, yeah, that's good. The first one's good.
Hold on. We have to go back to something Teach just said
Pitch Perfect.
because I agree, and most people don't. You said those movies are great,
Yes, the
and I
sequel's
feel
good.
like yes, we need to emphasize this. Pitch Perfect
No.
2 is still good.
Pitch Perfect 2
Perfect
is
2 is
still
good.
good.
They made 3 more of those fucking movies.
But
I ate one more
Pitch
movie.
Perfect 3 didn't need to be made.
Yeah, Pittsburgh 3 is not good, but 2 is good.
Pitch
2 is
Perfect
good.
2
2
is
is
good.
fine.
Pitch
The
Perfect
third
3,
one
not
stinks.
that Pitch Perfect 2. It was great.
I
loved
heard
it.
whispers of they're making another one. I hope that it's false. We don't need to do more.
Yeah, we don't need to do that.
It'll make money. I'll go see it.
If they make it, I will go see it, but I hope that they have the restraint. I don't have the restraint.
I don't have
But
the straight, but I hope
I
that
hope
they
they
do.
have the restraint.
I'm not strong enough.
Yeah, it's like when you like just start opening shit during COVID. It's like, of course, if shit is open, we're going, but it shouldn't be open. Like,
I wanted to make a comparison way back when that Magic Mike sort of had the same hold on society that Pitch Perfect did, whereas they came out and it was just it took over people's personalities almost, I feel like, for a little bit.
Pitch Perfect
Like-
was everywhere, man.
Like the jokes about Magic Mike was everywhere, but the jokes within Pitch Perfect, like everybody was talking about Pitch Perfect, and like people's acapella groups performing and like all this shit, and theater nerds were going wild. But like Magic Mike kind of had the same hold that did, where it was like it was talked about for so long. And in 2012, besides Marvel movies, getting these sort of independent one-off, I mean, Pitch Perfect's a studio movie, but like getting these sort of like one-off movies back in the day that like had no existing
IP.
no existing IP, and then everyone talked about it forever, and it did like numbers in DVD sales, and it did numbers in the theaters. That's a crazy concept. But I remember these two movies doing that. Now that you mentioned Pitch Perfect, which is a crazy kind of, they don't go hand in hand, but it's a weird comparison, you know.
we don't have those kind of moments anymore because everything's so IP driven. The closest I could think of is something that felt like that was maybe Parasite, but so fewer people saw Parasite than saw these two movies, just
Right.
or at least in America, that it like doesn't have the same, like, we don't have monoculture in that way unless it's IP. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work like that anymore.
I think what was different about Magic Mike was Magic Mike became like almost a culture war kind of thing. Like, are you seeing Magic Mike? Like, not even
Yes.
like talking about what's in
Right.
the movie Magic Mike, but like just like, are you willing to go to a movie theater and see that shit? Like, which is a topic of conversation that you just like could not avoid. we don't
Very
have that
much,
anymore.
very much. Are you gay, bro?
Yeah, are you gay?
Yeah.
Or,
Are
like,
you
if you're a-
gay?
If you're a woman, like, are you that thirsty? Like, are you that scandalous? Like, do you hate the Lord?
The
You
sa-
go see
You
Magic
need to go
Mike.
pray. The same
Do
with
you hate the Lord?
and the same with I didn't see Pitch Perfect until it came into DVD, and we just kind of bought it on Blu-ray or whatever, because it was the same sort of thing. Well, I'm not going to go see this chick movie or whatever.
Yeah.
That's where I was in 2012. I was 18. Don't sue me. I have
You're
grown.
canceled.
I have
You're canceled.
grown. I hope.
We're finding your 2012 tweets about Pitch Perfect, and you're done.
I think it was something to say. I have a total toner for Anna Kendrick.
Oh,
That tweet actually exists. I may have deleted it.
wow.
You can't be blamed for that one, though. I mean,
No, I get the dark eyeliner right up my alley back in
That's a-
2012.
Another one that I did not see. Every time I watch Pitch Perfect, I'd never once be like, Anna Kendrick. Would I? I never have that thought.
I did see it. Sorry. Try not to get bonked on this podcast. There's a lot of bonking on this podcast.
I'm gonna reel it back in and just say that Anna Kendrick is the biggest asshole in the world in that movie.
She
Really?
really is. She treats everybody like shit.
She fucking sucks, bro. Anna Kendrick is like her character, like the performance or whatever it's fine for what it's supposed to be, but her character Becca or whatever fucking sucks. She's the worst.
Also, incredible soundtrack. The No Diggity.
Another
Oh, that's right.
thing that white people heard for the first time. and
First
they couldn't
time
let
in
go.
Pitch Perfect. They could not let it go.
Guilty. I will say that.
That's insane that people don't know and didn't hear No Diggity until Pitch Perfect. That's insane to me.
And then they
Also-
started like fucking doing acoustic covers of it everywhere. Like, cut it out.
This really gave agency to a lot of white people to do a cappella.
Yeah.
And that was the negative part of the film. And we don't need that. We need to do Pitch Perfect one day. Those movies are funny. At least the first two, they're funny.
All right.
Quick shout
Gave
out to
us-
Devil Wears Prada and Easy A, 2 movies that I almost
Ooh,
picked.
Devil Wears Prada is a good one.
I got to go back and visit Devil Wears Prada because I watched it when I was really young, and I just didn't get the dynamic of it. You know what I mean? Like maybe going back and being in the workforce now, I'll understand sort of like how it works, you know, and the Meryl Streep performance a little bit more. Which by like people hold that Meryl Streep performance up there with like, you know, all Kramer versus Kramer and shit like that.
Please
But-
don't give Dex the space to slander Meryl Streep in this moment. Thank you. So
No,
much.
Roy
Oh,
is the Meryl
okay.
Streep slander.
I'm the
Please
Meryl
do not
Streep.
slander Meryl Streep.
I respect
I'm not.
our overlord.
I'm not. I just didn't back in the day. Just didn't see it. Maybe when I go back and watch it now, like I'll get it and sort of get the power dynamics and stuff within.
It's a great performance. I love
We'll
it.
have to
Confines
do an
of it.
episode on it. Anyway,
I'm
I'm
take us
definitely
home.
down for that.
All right, I will take us home. You can find us at One Take Pod on Twitter, One Take Pod on Instagram, One Take Pod on TikTok. You can go find us at One Take Podcast on YouTube, live stream our episodes probably like 5 to 10 days before the episode drops on Apple and all of your Spotify and iTunes and Google Podcasts, all of your streaming needs. Before it drops there, you can see it in full live streamed on One Take Podcast on YouTube.
Yes,
You
sir.
can also email the show at onetakepodcast.com. You can go follow us at Les_Humble You can follow us at Dex Hinton, and you can follow us at Royden Ogletree as well. Go follow Apollo at Apollo HOU. Go to ApolloHOU.com. Dex, you can also find some of the dopest Houston merch there as well.
Yeah, and if anything is too expensive for you, just use the promo code One Take Pod, ONETAKEPOD. Get 10% off your entire purchase. It's great. We were dropping new shirts like every fucking week. Pay attention.
All right, you can go find us there. This episode will try to drop sometime soon, but again, go follow our YouTube. It really does help. You can watch all the episodes when you're not working. We know you're not working. You can watch them at your desk. All right, we're out.
Hashtag support Florence Pugh.
Oh yeah, sorry. One more time. So you catch
Hashtag
it.
support Florence Pugh. Watch all of her movies that are available every fucking way.
Especially Midsommar.